Hello everybody. Today we're going to talk about dealing with unknown vocabulary. And in this screencast, I hope to give you a few strategies and tips what to do when you see words you do not know. So first of all, basically the situation is that you have articles with many words you don't know. You look some of them up in the dictionary, and this takes time. It interrupts the reading, and before you know it, what's happened, you forgot what the sentence was about or the text was about, and overall, it's quite a frustrating situation. So, what happens in your classroom? Many times, you are given an assignment with a list of the key words that you need to know. So it tells you where it is, and you've got shrunk and shrink, and that's a verb, and you've got the word scale, and we can see that it's a noun, and you're asked to get the meaning. And here it says, first of all, pay attention to the part of speech, because if it's a verb or a noun, it can have a slightly different meaning. It tells you read the sentence. Why? Because you need to find the context of the word. And through the context of the word, we can understand its meaning. And based on the context of the word in this particular text, to write the meaning in the table. And you can do that preferably in English, in a synonym, or in your own words. That makes you think about the word. But what happens in reality? First of all, you see the word, okay, scale. I go to Google Translate. I click, there's a whole bunch of words. This is the first one that comes up. Some of you just copy and paste the Hebrew here. Some of you paste some of the English. Some of you are a little bit more ambitious and choose a few of the words. And basically, this is what you've got. But they're not the same. Sulam is not K'nai Midah, nor is it mishkal. Each of these are different. And when you go back to the text and you need to know what the word scale means in this context, this really isn't going to help you. You done? Or when you're reading, many of you highlight and mark the words that you don't know, which is a good idea. And then you go to the dictionary, you find the first meaning, and you write the word on top. Okay? I'm sure many of you do this. And basically, this is what you see. You don't see the English words, you see the Hebrew. Your eyes are always going to see the Hebrew first. So if we look here and you say, well, how is this going to help you? You don't know the English word for tasiyati or ma'apacha, or even whether these are the correct translations or meanings of the word in this context. So if we look here and you say, how is this ever going to help you learn the words? Because again, did you get the right meaning for the word because it's only in context? And have you given yourself a chance to learn words? And that's because words need context. Let's take a word that you know quite well. This word. And they ask you, what does it mean? Well, it could mean yamin. It could mean nachon. It could mean zchut. We don't know. The only way we'll know what that word means is by its context. So when we add context, the meaning becomes clear. For example, turn right at the corner. Yamin. Yes, I guess you're right. Nachon. Every citizen has the right to vote. Zchut. So here we're very clear what the meaning means, and each of these is very different. In English, we have a situation of one word with three different meanings in Hebrew. Sometimes it's the opposite. Sometimes there are more words. So let's take a look at this text, and we see the word marked. The Industrial Revolution marked a major turning point in Earth's ecology. So what does the word marked mean here? And in Hebrew, we don't really have one exact translation. Going from Google Translate, simen, sien, hivchin. Which one are we going to choose? So we go back and we say, hivchin, well, an industrial revolution can't really hivchin. Simen, well, simen is often a little more symbolical. And sien is sort of, so it's somewhere between sien and simen. And that, by understanding the rest of the sentence, we were able to create the meaning and understand it. So what can we do to learn to get the right meaning of the word and learn the words as well? Well, first of all, keep reading. Sometimes in a text, definition is there. So if we look at this, environment refers to, well, that's usually a definition. And I continue reading, the influence of the world around us, e.g., example, family, school, and friends. So I'm able to understand what the word is because the definition is in the text. We talked about marked, but again, here we're using the context, what idea is missing. Here we have to pay attention to the fact that it's an action, a verb. Was a major turning point? Let's test our guess and say, the Industrial Revolution was a major turning point. Does that help us understand in general what it means? Yes, it does. So context can help us figure out meaning. Sometimes we look and we see that we know part of the word. We know the word machine. It started in the mid-1700s in Great Britain when machinery began to replace manual labor. Machinery, machine, or manual, man. So what idea is missing? We're missing something here about machine. I know part of the word. I put in the word machines, and voila, it works. Sometimes we need to use the whole sentence context. And here we look at human population growth is strongly tied together with increased use of artificial resources rather than natural. So rather than shows us opposite. So what's the opposite of natural? Artificial. Or in other words, not natural. So we were able to figure out the meaning of the word from rather than, an opposite. And sometimes we look at a word and we say during the 20th century the world population would take on growing proportions. Proportions, there's a word in Loisite that I know. Proportiot? Is that going to work? Proportions, proportiot, and growing proportiot reaching 6 billion. Yeah, that works. And sometimes we can understand the meaning of the sentence and we don't need the exact meaning of the word. So if we look here, profound. The effects were very great and profound. Well, it's obviously something important. Got the point. Important. The effects were very great and important. Yeah, I got it. So let's sum up. Keep reading. Sometimes we have the definition in the text. Look and see if there's a part of the word that you know, and that can help you get to the right meaning. Use the context, make a guess. Maybe there's a word that's similar in your language, what we call a cognate. And finally, if you've got the general idea, continue reading. And sometimes you can skip the exact meaning of the word. There are more words you know, the easier it's going to be to read and understand. So go out there and give yourself a chance to learn more words.